Happy Feral Monday, and my Monday is off to an amazing brow makeup start. Y'all, that is one product. This isn't out yet, so you're gonna go look for it and it's not out. They did just post about it. They sent it to me. Lord have mercy. We've been doing this over 10 years. If it was an ad, it would say ad. I have never had anything to hide, but I am excited for you because y'all know I have the most coarse brow hair ever. I don't have brow pin in that. That is just this. And we're about to put it on, but I'm flabbergasted. I am flabbergasted at the result. That looks incredible. Now I'm gonna put it on right now and it's going to frighten you, but take my hand. Take my hand. So I'm using the shade Dutch. That's what I have on here, but we're gonna have to trust the process, but it's such an easy cleanup. So if you've been with me for a long time, you know that I do not enjoy tinted gels. I feel like they're really hard to clean up, but this one actually isn't. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get in here and I start to really brush it, and it's a tubing brow gel. So just like mascara. So we're just gonna keep pushing it upwards. It's gonna look scary. That's why I told you to take my hand. But it's actually such easy to clean up. Such easy cleanup. I'm too excited. You know, I just love when you find something that actually works. We're just gonna keep doing this. Okay, we're getting it to where we want it now. Please, this is not scary. Everybody just breathe. Micellar water, and then we have this. So good! I'm so excited because it's so easy. Okay, you can already see. So I get it in there really messy so it fills in gaps and clings onto the hair around it. Again, tubing. That means it's connecting and lengthening. I know I look like the Groucho Marx glasses. It's so easy. I am not trying to just show y'all something and then leave you like this. But I do kind of just keep elongating. I haven't even dipped back in, by the way. The one dip is plenty. All right, so now we got it all wild. I know, it's still horrifying. You're like, Rose, no. But now that we got all of our floof and our extension, I'm gonna start to place it the way that the hair naturally grows. And then I can even start to shape with it. See? You're still thinking no. I would be. I get it. Still scaring the masses. I know. Now we're going to take some micellar water, C30. Gotta make sure this is nice and sharp. Get a really good pinch. And then all I did was start to clean up the top part. I don't even have to clean the bottom part. Now I will say do this into a mirror. I'm just going to keep doing this until I get it to look like this. I am kind of blown away. I really and truly am. This is just exceptional because I won't even have to get another brow product. I'm done. I feel like at this point in my life, I use at least 2, sometimes 3, but this makes everything so much easier. But do this into a mirror because I'm doing it into my phone and it's a lot harder. I love how I tell y'all that. Jane, keep it down. We're trying to do a tutorial here. And yes, we're about to still do Feral Monday, but I wanted to show you this. I still gotta take it down. It's gotta match. Now we're looking good. And then if I just wanna push this little guy over. Get over there with your family. Literally how I talk to my brows. And then there's a little bit here. What I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna carve, but I do wanna kind of clean up that little smidge. And then as I do that, kind of the end comes to life and we get that really nice shape. I'm blown away, Milk. Blown away. I love makeup science and the advancements. That is wild. I have never been able to use just one brow product. 10 out of 10. And I also feel like I could use a lighter color so I can kind of lighten my brows if I wanted to. I just used one that I would normally use, a color I would normally use. So I want to try it that way too. Not right now, we're going to get to Feral Monday, but I got so excited about the brow product that I had to show you. This is so good. Now for the fun part. I want to use this palette, but I want to use a lot of the colors from the palette. So I think we'll do one of my fun looks where I just place a bunch of colors all over my eyes and I hope for the best. This is the ColourPop Pokemon palette. I must touch this. I am happy that I touched it. Look how pretty that is. Ooh. I just want to put a bunch of colors on my eyes because it's Feral Monday. So whenever I want to do one of these looks, I will take clear base and I will absolutely cover from my lash line to my brow bone. I'll bring it really far over here, but now we need a C31 to make sure that's really nice and smooth because right now we'd have a patchy mess. Give me my C31. And I'm gonna start by smoothing. All you gotta do is tap, and tapping is gonna get this smoother. Really any eyeshadow base, tapping is gonna get it much smoother than any kind of swiping. So we're just gonna keep tapping all the way back and forth until we get all the way up to the brow bone. Tap, 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 tap. That's what I think of in my mind, but it's also relaxing. And if you ever wanna sit down and do a look like this, I'm gonna give you probably the biggest tip ever. To make all of this come together, we obviously want it to be symmetrical. So I'm gonna place the color here, then I'd place it here. I'd always mirror what I'm doing, right? But whenever you clean up any kind of eyeshadow here and you give it structure at the bottom, any eyeshadow look can look good. Remember that. Now I do have another tip if you ever want to get feral and do a look like this. Small brush. Get your smallest brush in your collection. We want to keep everything, pretty contained in a sense, but it's all going to melt together eventually, but we want kind of small areas. So we don't want a big fluffy brush. Let's just start that on our lash line through there. Pretty. We have fun. I'm gonna pick up more. We're just gonna mirror that on this side like I mentioned. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's more of a watercolor look that we're gonna do. So don't be too worried about it. Jean. And I forgot to tell you, it's ColourPop Pokemon and it is a beautiful palette. I'm gonna link it for you. And I know it can be intimidating, but you would be surprised how often you might use some of the colors, especially if you don't have any palettes that have any bright colors in it. So this is a really good option. I love palettes like these. Now, as an artist that cannot get enough, I have so many, but a lot of times we don't. I was that way at one time, but the mixture of of all of these different textures in one palette plus the bright colors, it's a good idea because you could just honestly wing this out and there you go. You could literally do that with so many colors. I'm not telling you you need the palette. I'm just saying it's a fun idea. All right, what color do we want now? I don't know. Just pick a color, any color. Let's grab the yellow. Pick it up. Place it here. Give it some taps. Tap it over into here. We're having fun. Ooh, I didn't have to dip back in. That's a good yellow. Just have it mirror. I feel like my R's just immediately tell you Texan. Actually, I'm gonna grab a fluffy brush just because I want to kind of use this as a base through here. Just for a little bit of kind of a neutral ground, if you will. Oh, I lost it. There it is. Side of the brush. Just gonna press it on. Oh, that's a nice shade. That's basically my skin tone. Nice. Oh my gosh, the honk shoes are so intense. All right, fine. I might not take the mattes any further up than that, but I definitely will take some shimmers. We'll see, who knows. Wipe that off on Sheila. I'm wild. My nose. Thank y'all for putting up with me. Let's place it here. We're always melting it into the color. That's pretty. Tap, 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 tap. That's cool. Let's extend that one out a little bit more. And by out, I just mean out of the socket. If y'all ever wondered why Jean snores that loud, really quickly, Jean was a feral cat. I tamed Jean, but after I tamed him and brought him in, I realized that he had like previous damage to his sinuses. I don't know if he was hit by a car. Remember, he was not in my possession. So he had a different life before me. He was very much in the streets. So I don't know if a dog bit him. If he was hit by a car, what happened to him, but his sinuses are crushed. So he's had x-rays, he's fine. He doesn't even know what's going on, but it makes him extra snorty and snory. So he actually sometimes comes in and he'll just enter a room and he'll snort like a pig. I feel like some of y'all have heard that. But again, the boy is so healthy. He's so happy. He's just very loud. Okay, wow, this color. I want to just do a look. I literally might take my makeup off once we're done and do a look with that color. That is a very unique and fun color. I want to do a smoky eye with that, but I did grab it. Beep, 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 beep. And then, oh Lord, a bath on top of the snorting. I just kind of placed it in the middle just for some depth there. And then I noticed it was seriously a stunning color, so stay tuned for that. So pretty. It's gonna build it up right there in the center. All right, I love the color so much. And wait till you see it with back camera, that I'm taking this one that's on my face. I'm gonna take that on the side of the brush, and I'm just gonna go ahead, and this kind of gives you an idea. Think of this as the base, the part where I remember where I mentioned that we're gonna take this, and if you clean up underneath there, it really brings balance to any look, and you can really do this watercolor effect. This is our dark color. So if you have a dark color focused out here, you have a look. Essentially, you have a look. No matter what you want to do, if you deepen this outer part of the eye, Jean, please. If you deepen the outer part of the eye, you have a look. And I'm just going to keep packing this on. And then I'm going to wipe my brush. And it doesn't even have to be in a wing shape. This brush just kind of does that for you. So I'm wiping that off. Then I'm going to use the side of it and I'm just going to soften it a little bit. And you can even soften it down here if you want to. Remember, kind of like our brows. Remember how I just cleaned that up and then we got such definition and it really kind of created the brow? Same thing with eyeshadow. We just soften, and then if you come back and clean it up, it really brings everything together and it gives you the lines and the shape. All right, perfect. Let's keep on trucking here. Now we're gonna have some green in here. Let's use this one. Really picking it up on the brush. All right. Oh yeah, there it is. That's where we needed it, right there. Really kind of pushing it in there. That's pretty. Ooh, what a pretty green. By the way, that's what it looks like on its own. Gorgeous. Picking up some more of it. Nice. I want to put another color there. I'm trying to just cram as many colors on here as I can. What in the ruckus? I'm gonna pick up a little bit more. Remember the first, was it the first? No, it was the second. The yellow was the second. I'm just gonna add a little bit more here. Don't be afraid to go back in and touch up. So this one's a little bit more like a super shock texture. Ooh. So what I'm gonna do is for this one, I want a C30 because this one's your fingertip, but better because you have that precision. I'm still gonna load up the brush. You can see there's quite a bit of product there. And then I'm just gonna press that onto the lid so we really get the color, because I could kind of tap this and then it'll see that it kind of just turns into sparkle, which is still beautiful, but I wanna see the actual color and the sparkle. Now hang on now, I know. I know. It's Feral Monday, Trust the Process Monday. And just give me a second, Monday. So this color here is actually a very light blue, like whisper blue. I'm gonna take that, I'm taking it on an E29, so I can just really just pack it here. I'm gonna get some color, but I'm also getting it diffused a little bit more. I think we're gonna use this to finish that transition. I'm trying to decide right now. I think we should maybe use one more color to transition these darker ones and then transition with the blue. But for right now, and I know you're thinking blue, what? You'll see it with back camera. I'm just gonna keep building that up a little bit more. So, I mean, you can kind of see the blue there. And then I'm just gonna bring it to the pink. Ooh, he's on his phone calls. Family signed the NDAs. I don't even know what he's talking about. So the reason I want to transition with a different color, I'm gonna tell you why I switched my brush too. I want something to with a little bit more depth to kind of fill in gaps. Okay, we're just gonna take that darker blue, tap it across. And the reason I'm using a fluffier brush is because, ooh, that's so much fun. Is because I don't want to add too much color and too much pigment. I want it just to be a really nice soft transition. So remember, the fluffier the brush, the more diffuse that application. Perfect. Now I did cover this up a little bit too much, no big deal. I wasn't paying attention. All we gotta do is grab that really fun color again and then just tap it right back on top to intensify. Crisis averted. But look at how fun that is. Now back into the light blue, remember the one right here? Just tap that on top. After all these years, I still just love makeup so much. Now this shade, this is a really pretty kind of flippy shade, the blue white. Ooh, that's pretty. That's going on our brow bone. Yep, that's what we needed. Feather it over that way, and then inner corner. Which I might tidy up the inner corner once we get our foundation on. But let's just kind of get that on there. Clean that side up, see that difference? And I want it more green to the look, but I'm gonna put that on the bottom lash line. But I'm cleaning this up right now. I somehow lost my C31. Stabbed my fingernail into blue eyeshadow. So we'll come back in a second and finish that up, but I just kind of start from underneath here. And underneath here is not where my eye separates, but right underneath that. Oh my goodness, the boy is really saying honk shoe. I might do a wing too. We will see. And then I'll just clean that. Nice. I might do a little wing too. I gotta go down and get more water. And you know what? While I'm down there, I might as well eat cereal. So once we get this wing on, I'm using my Valentino liner. Once we get this on, and I'm kind of holding it really far back. This will help you. And I'm using the side of it. And when you use the side instead of coming from the front, you're actually able to control how thin your line is. And once you get that mapped out, then you can kind of hold it a little bit farther. I still never hold it like this. Back here, you get more control. And I know it feels a little unnatural, but it makes a difference. It's just about a little bit of practice. But out here, it's a lot easier to use the front of the pin. But here, it's not. So use the side. Now, I really had a fun idea. I'm going to finish this. I'm going to do that, but I need to get this idea out of my head. I want to put a colorful rhinestone each place that matches each color on my eye because we have fun here. And we're going to do that when I get back from my cereal trip downstairs. I'm back and those fruity Cheerios, they hit the spot. That's what I had today. These are new from Kiss. This style is very natural, but it still has a little bit of that kitty cat flair. And what I mean by that, it's short. Oh my gosh. I didn't mean that it was covered in hair, Jane. It has, see how it's short towards the front and longer towards the end? That's what I call the kitty cat flair. All right, and then I gotta go find my rhinestones. But I know you might be wondering what the heck I'm doing and why that's still floating around. So I was letting it get really acquainted with the center here. Then I grab from the front and then I place it. And then I place it over here too. But let it get acquainted in the center first, because that's where it's the easiest to adhere, because the eyeball sticks out the furthest right in the center. These are from Amazon. All you gotta do is search nail art rhinestones and you find little tiny ones. Now we just need some lash glue. I think I might have to grab another pack, but all of my rhinestones that you see in this kind of packaging, that little, I have it open, I don't wanna shake it now, but in this, if they're in this, they're just from Amazon. I have so many of them. Now all we're gonna do is we're gonna place the glue. I'm just gonna do little dots. And then wherever there's a color, I'm gonna place a rhinestone that matches. So for the blue, we're gonna grab blue. And this is a nail art tool, also from Amazon. There you go. You kind of get the idea. Ooh, it's so much fun. I'm gonna do 2 there. That's why I did the 2 dots. Hold on to that. There you go. And then we're just gonna do that and match everywhere. Now we're on to the yellow. And then I match that one. And then I'm just gonna keep matching. And then I added just some iridescent ones as well. These are from Amazon. Just your classic, I don't know, just the classic rhinestone. I added them kind of as little ghost ones just floating around in there. All right, let's finish the face. This is so much fun. I miss doing looks like this. I remember I sometimes get spicy during the week, but if you're just tuning in, Feral Monday is just that. We go absolutely feral with our makeup. I think I'm just gonna do concealer because I wanna finish the eye, make it a little bit more fun too. So I'm gonna do my concealer as my foundation. I don't mind if we have some freckles peeking through. Also, a lot of y'all know that I just have touch reactive skin. I don't know. I can barely just touch myself and sometimes it'll just flare up like that, but it will go away and I'm fine. Y'all are so sweet to care. Look at that match. Ooh, R5. This is my Natasha Denona concealer. Okay, that'll do. So I think I'll just grab a, where's my, this is coming back soon. Well, apparently it ain't going, I don't even have it. The C32 is what I'm talking about. It's gone. Are you in an OFT? Oh, there it is. Found it. So this is our C32. This one sold out and we did not expect that, but it is coming back soon and I'm gonna leave a little sign up link there for you if you're interested in it. And then you can just watch this blend out. Whee. Just a little bit there. I actually don't mind my freckles peeking through. I kind of like to do my skin peeking through when I do my more wild looks. I do want to melt that in. Melty, melty. So I just want to lightly diffuse the rest of my face. So we're actually grabbing a C41. You know how we talk about the E29 being fluffy and it diffuses? We're using the C41 this way. If we use a C42, we might not, we might cover up the freckles, but we still want coverage, but we want to diffuse it. And we're just diffusing the edges. So I want that coverage underneath my eyes, but I want it to kind of melt out once we get to the perimeter. Nice. Let's use this stuff. Now don't feel like you need to go get it. We don't need it. We're just checking it out, giving it a little check out. Oh, that's fun. I'm just gonna place it with my finger. I don't know if it's a blush. I don't know what we're using it as. I don't know what's happening, but we're doing it together. I have to do this with your supervision. We'll take our C41 with the big jean ball of hair on it. Okay, so it doesn't have a lot of pigment. Might be more of just a skin illuminator. Can't decide, y'all. Yeah, I'm just getting a lot of illumination from it. The color's kind of staying there. I feel like it needs a little bit more of a dense brush. So let me try it with the C32 again. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so it needs a little bit more of a dense brush to control it. But I feel like it might be better. I was saying I think it might be better as a mix-in. But then I feel the pink is definitely so subtle. But the glow is there. It definitely leaves a glow. I kind of want to put just a little bit more. Oh, I have it here. Okay, I'll just pick it up since I'm going to flatten it. That's a really good tip for anything. Make sure it's flat. It's a very small amount, but since it's so flat, I can pick it up with my brush directly and just kind of press it in. But it did need a denser brush. The C41 was a little bit too, it was too fluffy. And what can happen is it doesn't really kind of press and mix the pigments together, so then it can look a little patchy on the face. I feel like a lot of what happens is we're just not using the right tool with the product. Does that mean this is amazing? No, I don't feel like this is special, but by using the correct tool, it works. That's what I'm saying. I don't think we need this. That being said, I want to use this because this is truly one of my favorite products right now. This is the blush, and we can use a C41 with this, and this particular color has been so hard to dupe. I'll get you the link, but I had to mix two colors to get the color, but what I mixed is not going to be the same finish. So we could dupe the color. I still cannot find anything to dupe the actual formula. This is spicy price, but my goodness, it is pretty incredible. And it just blends out like a dream, and it's beautiful, and it's buildable, and the color is, as you can see, it stays like that. But obviously blend it out. I can't hype this one up enough. If you're wanting to kind of invest in a shade like this, I'm going to get you the link. Ever felt pressure. But do I love this? Yes. Yes, I do. By the way, that's the video I was talking about where you can kind of see that we can mimic the color, and it's very, very close, but it's the formula I show is a matte blush that actually does turn very powdery, while this just stays very luminous. Let's do this bronzer. I love these. I know I just showed a very expensive blush, but these are, I just love this formula when it comes to a bronzer. The way that I just barely tapped. These add coverage to your look. It's pretty wild. I'm just so happy that this formula is so affordable. I think that NYX did an exceptional job with this, an exceptional job with the colors. And I have one thing, but that's only personal. The packaging's a little hard to get in, but I can't really complain about that. I just get my little tweezers out and pry it open maniacally. Okay, let's place it there. I'm gonna go back over this with my C41 to kind of really melt it in with the concealer, so I'm gonna look a little wild. I feel like that's sometimes my technique. A little wild before we contain it, much like my life. Now I'm going to take my C41 and I'm just going to melt everything together. I don't have anything on the brush. Just making sure that it's nice and blended. I also feel that with this formula, this NYX Butter Bronzer, it's right in between being, it's a very wet powder, so it's a powder cream hybrid. So the way that you can manipulate it with your makeup is pretty incredible. So it never really patches up. And it works with just about every single formula of foundation. So I love it. I feel like it's a very, it's a very easy formula to use and incorporate in what you already have. It just kind of slides right into whatever you're working with already. All right, before I get any powder on, I'm gonna do bare minimum of powder because I have such a small amount of concealer on. So I'm actually not going to use a puff. I won't have to, but let's get some base on there. And then I'm going to grab that C30. It's at an angle, so I'm going to take that angled end and just kind of smooth that out. Wonder what that was that dropped on me. We're good. Looking for my E27. And now, let's grab this green. Want it right in the center of the brush, and the reason why is because we just want to be able to kind of tap it in here. That way it doesn't give us any fallout. Nice. Now in true Rose fashion, we've still got more to go. Hey, what are you doing here? Did we use that one? I don't think we used that one. No, we did. No, we used this one. I'm gonna stop. Let's take that shimmery green and I'm just going to kind of pull that towards the front. Made my my brown eyes pop. Green made the green. Bless my heart. Now remember, I have the smallest amount of concealer on underneath my eyes. You can still see my little freckle there. So I don't have to use as much powder. I'm just gonna grab an E28 and I'm just gonna press this around my eye. I love this powder so much. But the reason I'm able to the reason I don't have to use a puff is because this is such a small amount of concealer. When you have these tiny, tiny, tiny little amounts, you don't have to worry about kind of getting in there, setting all at once. You're just lightly setting, but you are noticing that I'm working in sections and I keep going back and forth to press because that really will make a difference. I'm gonna do some down my nose. I'm about to grab my C41, but I'm doing a little bit of the detail pressing with this brush because it's so flat, so I can just get in there. But again, I cannot stress that I am wearing such a small amount. Now we're gonna grab our C41. This is the one that we used earlier. I just wiped it off. Notice there's never any hard pan. Creamed powder, y'all. But I'm gonna avoid the blush, and I don't wanna go too heavily on top of the bronzer because I'm gonna act like this is set, and I also don't want to change the color of the blush. So it's going around that. Set there. Now don't get alarmed if you go on top of the bronzer. This is such a pigmented bronzer, it shouldn't leave a cast. This powder probably won't leave a cast, but it is something I like to teach. All right, let's get some some lipstick on. No more blush, Rose. See, I'm wild for blush. I get wild. You ready for my new favorite lip combo? We're gonna start with MAC Mahogany. And then what I like to put in the center of my lips in just a second. We're doing our rough outline. That way we have something for the product I'm about to put on my lips for it to mix into. Rough outline. And I'm gonna do it like that. All right, let me grab the product. Now, I like to use this just in the center of my lips. This color for blush, for lips, for so many different things. Pro products, y'all. That's where it's at. So I'm going to take just a little bit of that. And look at how pigmented that is. I know. Today is trust the process day. And then we're going to grab our lip liner again. Don't you go nowhere. You know, I should have told my lip liner that. There it is. And then I'm gonna get in here and I'm just gonna continue to shade, kind of mix it in there. Finish off the lip line. And then I keep doing that. All right, now I'm a ventriloquist. Now we just keep blending. But then I'm gonna top it with this, and I did this the other day. And I just loved it. It glows from the center because that cream stick has such a white base. It's so pretty. I've screamed about these enough. I'm gonna say it one more time. MAC gloss, but better. We need more colors in it too. And there you go. Happy Feral Monday. All right, that's it for Feral Monday tonight. I'm going to be posting an ad for Estee Lauder. Remember when I did the bridal eye and I had to hop off and film it? That's what I'm posting tonight. I'm so excited to post it. All right, I love you with all of my heart. And I will see you tomorrow. And we won't do rhinestones. We'll do something. I think we should do the Revlon quads again, but do a different look with them. That's what I think we should do. I love you so much, and I'll see you tonight in the comments.